Well, friends, our derelict chair is now a chair in pieces. What was of no use has now become something that is potentially of use. Now I just want to show you a couple of little things about working with shaped wood. It can be a little intimidating if you haven't done it, because how are you going to orient that wood? What kind of curve do you want? What kind of style do you want? Now here's what I've decided to do. I'll just put this. Now, but there were other possibilities. I could have made a leg like that. I could have made the table bigger on the top than the bottom. Could have put the curve in a different spot vertically. Well, a whole bunch of decisions to make. Well, simplify the decisions. That's the first thing. You know what you want, you know where it has to fit, you know in this case, I know what room I have. I don't want a table that's got legs splayed out like that. No place to put it. But I don't want a table that's top heavy. It's too unstable. Secondly, I know how high I want it to be. The table little stands that I'm making, I'm going to put a 24-inch, 2 feet for the frame, and then just the thickness of the top. That works out well for holding a cup of tea or coffee with the chairs in my living room. It means I won't have to reach down over the arm of the easy chairs to get it. I won't have to reach up. It'll be just where I need it to be. Now, I want to show you something to simplify matters. One of the problems is how you join curved pieces. The trick is to take away the curve. You'll find that with even antique furniture. You know, the back stands of chairs and that. They actually designed flat surfaces where other pieces joined them. I followed the same. Although it may not be quite apparent, the top of my back stand legs, this section is vertical. That means these top pieces can go in at a right angle. That simplifies matters. No weird angles. And here's what I did to decide where I wanted the curve. I simply took my trusty carpenter's framing square, a right angle, 24 inches, 2 feet in height, tipped the leg over the side of the bench, drew the square over, and you see how flat it is in that top section? Then it becomes a question of, where do I want the curve to be? Toward the top? Toward the bottom? It's a question of taste, what you like. But what it does, it gives me a measurement where I can cut the top, I can cut the bottom. It gives me a vertical here for those pieces to come together. It makes it easy to measure the angle for the stretchers because it can be measured off the flat with the square. Gives the angle for the mortise, everything. It's very, very simple. Simplify your life. Don't let curves intimidate you. Find what suits you. Now, what suits me is this. So I would put it about there. Mark the bottom, mark the top. Use a bevel square. I can get the angles I need for the stretchers. Really simplifies matters. My curved pieces, theoretically, behave like straight pieces. Piece of cake. Anyway, that's something I just wanted to show you to take away a little of the anxiety of dealing with curved pieces, because we have curved pieces here, and it can look a little busy. But actually, trusty square, vertical section, works like a charm. Anyway, that's one of the things I really wanted to show you, because it takes away a lot of the anxiety and difficulty of finding proper angles. You can do that. You don't have any complicated measuring. Now, of course, that's only one of the issues with a three-legged table. The other issue is the fact that it's a three-legged table. There's no square, no 90 degrees that we think in. It's based on a different geometry. Now, you can go and get protractors and angle dividers and all kinds of things and puzzle it all out. It's not very complicated. It's simple geometry. Circle, 360 degrees divided into 3, 120 degrees. If you like doing math, go for it. I like working wood. I don't like working math. And there's a simpler way to do it. So now I'm going to show you, we're going to make a template that lets us keep our legs in the proper orientation, that gives us a kind of framework to build this table around. And it's very, very simple. Now, the second piece of information we really need to simplify building this three-legged candle stand is a kind of plan. There's no 90 degrees here, no square to work from. Instead, we're going to work from a circle. So I've just taken a little compass, polka, which I've made. It's adjustable. So it doesn't really matter the size of the circle, as long as it's large enough. Just double check that I'm inside. Okay. Now, there's the circle. There's the center. That circle is the basis of what we need, but we've got to divide this circle up. So without adjusting your compass, simply find a spot on the perimeter of the circle. And just walk your way around. Now, of course, this is the arc of the circle because it's based on the radius of the circle. And you walk yourself around a circle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 segments. Well, you got 6 segments. Join them. Take any one and join it to the center. Skip one. Join it to the center. Skip one. Join it to the center. There's the plan of your stand. The legs will sit on those lines. Those lines will determine spacing, angles. We're going to use this plan not just as a conceptual model. This is going to be one of the tools that lets us put together some of the neat joinery that we're going to use. It just simplifies matter. If you like angles, degrees, go for it. If you just like to build stands and do something a little different, find a way so you don't measure. Don't measure angles, don't measure dimensions any more than necessary, because where the mistake will always come is where you try to use these things too often. Anyway, next time we'll start getting into the nuts and bolts, as it were, of building these stands. But these are the two things that, if you keep in mind, they really simplify your life. We'll see you again.